Okay, here we have an awesome 1985 GPZ550 Resto-mod, just an awesome machine. It's had a top-end rebuild. We'll go over a list of stuff here. Period correct Yoshimura exhaust system, which has been refinished, and also header wrapped just for aesthetics. An awesome piece there. It sounds amazing. No rust or anything going on there. Yoshi pipes are, of course, now ubiquitous, but at the time very difficult to source, so finding a 80s style exhaust kind of tricky. Fully rebuilt clutch, new Sunstar sprockets and drive chain. Calipers have been rebuilt front and rear. Galfer stainless brake lines, front and rear also. New brake pads, synthetic .4 brake fluid. Those stainless brake lines really help with brake feel. It's definitely very, very quick, aggressive braking, but not over-braked. Upgraded master cylinder there as well, the little shorty canister with adjustable levers. And then CRG bar end mirror, not an eBay cheapie, but a proper CRG brand part there. All four turn signals are new, so the rubbers usually get pretty tired and they get saggy, so they're all brand new. To correct for that, let's see. The front forks have been overhauled with progressive springs, fresh oil, and then the anti-dive delete kit from the GPZ part sites. Kruger manual cam chain tensioner after the top end work. The manual cam chain tensioner is nice to have, that way the tensioner never fails on you. We have valves have been adjusted with new seals and things on the top end. Full carburetor rebuild with K&L kits, jetting to match the pod filters and the exhaust system. Repainted in a factory metal flake black with replica decals on everything. The Unitrack there, and of course the side decals. A couple of decals from the manufacturers of the parts that are on the bike. Clip-on style handlebars, which are adjusted nicely. All new fuel lines and vacuum lines, of course. Pirelli Sport Demon tires, new, front and rear. Torozzi rear set controls, real Italian parts there. They are simply amazing and adjustable, multi-position with the linkages and things to match. NGK spark plugs, wires, and plug caps. And then the headlight sticker has this yellow sticker over the top of the headlight lens. If you want to peel that off, you would have a normal glass lens under that, but kind of an aesthetic thing there. Pretty sure that's everything significant on it. A couple of things to note. In the dash here, fuel level senders commonly fail on these. That is the case with this one. It shows empty despite having fuel in it. The trip meter still works, so you're able to refill based on that. And then the battery light, the factory battery is supposed to have a level sender for the battery acid that plugs in right here. Having a level sender in your battery to determine how much battery acid is there doesn't frankly matter. The bike still runs, cranks, rides fine, and if you have acid doesn't necessarily mean you have amperage, so it's kind of a weird 80s thing to know how much battery acid you have, so that is been disconnected because this modern battery does not have a level sender within it. You can get a resistor, I think, that would shut that off, but either way you'll see the battery light constantly flashing. There isn't a battery issue. It's a brand new battery, but it's 80s tech that they have that there. Rather than this being some voltage, like if it was below 12.1 volts or something that it would come on. No, it's a battery light for battery acid level. Kind of strange. So just wanted to point that out. Not actually a fault there. Let's go ahead and start it up. just an awesome machine. Let's go ahead and take a look at all the spare parts that come with the bike. Okay, here we have a chin fairing for the bottom of the bike. A couple of little imperfections in the black paint there. You'd have to paint it up if you wanted it to look really nice. That would also cover up the lovely headers there. This is an inner fairing chunk for the front nose fairing that would typically be in the front of the bike. There is a stay bracket for that fairing, as well as a couple of little trim pieces. The main fairing chunk not present though. This is a really nice NOS Kirker windscreen for that fairing. Here's a second set of decals, just in case the existing set had been installed with an imperfection or something. There was a second set ordered. That's there. Original turn signals, which the fronts are supposed to go into the fairing. The ones that are on here now are the matching the rear, so all four are the same. So if you wanted to go back to factory, you could. Here's the factory master cylinder. Here is a second oil pan. I think there was an issue with one of the threads being a little bit iffy, so a replacement oil pan was installed. Let's see, this is a hold down for the battery itself, if you wanted to use that. Not necessary though. A couple of receipts and other little packaging things there. Factory foot controls, shifter and brake lever, chain adjusters for the rear, foot pegs, got some mirrors there, boxes for the NGK plug caps, automatic OEM cam chain tensioner, some breathers. Under the bike there's this crankcase hose here with a breather on the end of it. It took a little bit of finagling to find one that would fit. Let's see, we have some cam cover caps, these little shoe D-shaped guys in there, fresh with a new valve cover gasket. And in that box there is the rest of a complete gasket kit. Looks like different front brake light switch, a couple other little packages, spark plug lead, or maybe that's like starter motor lead, I'm not sure. Climber service manual, go with the bike. Receipts for like the tires and the sprockets, I think. Here's adjustment procedures for the TK carburetors, which is not necessarily covered in the KZ manual here. Subtle differences between the KZ and GPZ carbs, which, you know, if you need to retune these based on altitude of where you're at, you'd want that. Breakdown diagram for the parts, and then instructions for the manual cam chain tensioner there. So all of that stuff is included with the bike.